With Smackdown upset over losing Becky Lynch and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for October 19th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. With Carmelo Hayes recently becoming NXT North American Champion, he told Busted Open Radio that his mentor on NXT, Shawn Michaels, has great trust in him creatively, still using bullet points, but I'm big on trying to say stuff that I would truly say, so a lot of the stuff that you hear is 100% from me with their direction. I've been lucky enough to where they've trusted me to say what I want. That's really the direction they're going now, truly. They're trusting guys and giving guys, especially in NXT 2.0, they're trusting guys to say what we would say, because we're trying to reach a different demographic now. They can't really tell us. Shawn has said to me straight up, I don't know what cool is, so I trust you to tell me what cool is. That's the biggest thing that I've been able to take away from that. I said, okay, trust me. I'll do my part to reach that demographic. Hayes then touched on the importance of bringing in a younger demo, with the company putting more emphasis on characters. I was told, hey, we're trying to reach a new audience here. This is fresher, younger, brighter. Everyone knows that now, and seeing what we're watching now, a lot more focus on characters, less on wrestling, and that's perfect for somebody like me. That's what I want to do. If I can be the leader of that, and at the forefront of that, then put me in coach. I want to help get that. NXT has consistently brought in the most viewers in the 60+ demo, as they hope that this reinvention of the brand brings in younger eyes. While it was reported that there were plans to split up the Street Profits during the draft, they have remained together for the time being. In late September, Montez Ford was placed in a match against Roman Reigns on Smackdown, which was seen as a trial run to be a single star. Now it has been reported that there could be bigger things coming for Montez. Give Me Sport has also learned that people within WWE have been impressed with Ford's conduct and performances over the last few months, which is why he's been considered for big opportunities like this. After having one of the greatest in-ring careers, Kurt Angle finds himself retired after his WrestleMania 35 match against Baron Corbin. Speaking on his podcast, he recalled his biggest regret while in the wrestling business. My biggest regret was breaking my neck. Everything went downhill from there. My whole career, my painkiller problem got worse. It actually started with my neck being broken in 2003, and I just wish it would have never happened. Would have had a nice long successful career, drug-free, and would have been elated on it. So that is my biggest and probably one and only regret. With Samoa Joe recently saying he knew CM Punk would return to pro wrestling after making his debut as a Fox analyst on WWE Backstage, he said on the Kurt Angle show that his trilogy of matches with Punk were very important to his career, tremendously important for a lot of reasons, both from a career standpoint and from a business standpoint. It was an opportunity to kind of explore bounds that personally I've never really explored before, doing the longer format matches, doing the 60-minute matches, and got me acquainted to what I was able to do, and if I push myself and go out there. It was a great creative effort. You know, anytime you're in there with Punk, he's got a tremendously creative mind. Great collaborative effort going back and forth. It's always very easy to come up with something great with him. It was a special time and something I really enjoyed. And I definitely do highlight the trio of matches as a very important point in my career. While Punk has stated he won't rule out another match against Joe, we'll have to see if the Samoan makes his way to AEW after his time in WWE comes to an end. With the Crown Jewel event taking place on the 21st, the WWE roster is getting ready to make their way to Saudi Arabia, as a point of contention was the expected layover. Ringside News reported, we were told that trip was actually the hot topic before Raw this week, especially how they must get off the plane in London with their carry-on bags and go through security during a 2+ hour layover only to get on the same plane. With the draft set to go into effect after Crown Jewel, the Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair will be on SmackDown, and the SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch will be on Raw. Now, Fox has been wanting Charlotte on SmackDown since their deal with WWE began. Ringside News would add, "We were told about another popular discussion point backstage in WWE, but it might upset some people. Here it goes. We were told that people were talking about how Raw gets Becky, who everyone likes, and SmackDown gets Charlotte, who is not popular behind the scenes." During the Dynamite Download show, AEW star Brian Cage brought up a match he was supposed to have with former WWE star Buddy Matthews on the independent scene, but this could not happen due to an injury Brian suffered. "I got stem cells in my knee which were voluntary, and I've got stem cells several times, and whenever I've had it before, you're always stiff and sore, but it's not like, oh my god. I don't know what the difference was or what happened, but I got it in my shoulders and my knees, and then a few hours later, my knees were killing. It was almost the top 3 most painful moments of my life. I ended up sleeping on the chair because I couldn't get up. I had Melissa take a protein container and dump the regular protein into a Ziploc bag, and give me the container, and I would open the lid and piss in it because I couldn't get up. That's how much I couldn't walk at all. I felt like I was paralyzed." Despite his knee feeling better in the lead up to his match, he said it was not well enough to wrestle on. Cage also talked about the potential dream matches as he noted, "I'll leave Kenny Omega out of it because that's a given. I really want to work Pac. I would love to work with Pac. We don't have a lot of big men in AEW, but all the big men are good. I'm torn between Luchasaurus and Wardlow, which one I'd rather have a balls to the walls match with. I worked with Luchasaurus before and we killed it. He's super athletic as well. Wardlow is underrated athletically, and I feel like we have more of a similarity to it. Either one of them would be great. And then as a third one, Bryan Danielson would be amazing, and my all-time dream match has always been AJ Styles since I started wrestling." Impact Wrestling stars Ace Austin and Gia Miller's home caught on fire with them losing everything in their apartment. A GoFundMe was opened as it reads, "At approximately 9:30 a.m. of October 18th, I, Georgia Lee, or some of you may know me as Gia, was awoken by the distinct smell of smoke and a terrifying realization. Our second-story apartment was on fire. Not only that, the fire had originated on the front porch, nearly trapping us inside. We went running through the flames, where we were met with a community of people rushing to our sides to get us to safety. Mere seconds from being trapped, Austin and I escaped our home that was now engulfed in flames and smoke. All of our belongings, including our sweet cat Selena, that had hidden out of fear, were trapped inside. By some miracle, our baby girl was found alive and well, buried under our ceiling and roof that had collapsed on top of her, shielding her from the flames and smoke. We are physically okay. Our little family is reunited. As far as our home, it is gone. Something we worked so hard to build over the last year and a half, gone in minutes. We do not know what was able to be saved, if anything. Now we have to rebuild. Like a phoenix from these ashes, we will rise. Any help, even the smallest amount, is appreciated." The goal for their GoFundMe has been more than met, with them raising more than $24,000. Austin would go on Twitter to note, "A very trying day it's been. The fire almost trapped us inside. I'm still in a bit of shock. We don't yet know how much we lost, but what we do know is that everything is going to be okay. Fire team saved our cat and nobody was hurt. Blessings are being counted. I am truly astonished by the overwhelming amount of generosity and support the Mean Gig Miller and I have received today. Thank you will never be enough. Every single person who donated will get something from me in return someday when this is over. That is a promise. We've been helped so much already today, and I can't thank the local Red Cross fire team and people of Woodman Apartments enough. I appreciate so much the support you all give me as a pro wrestler, but today Austin the person needs it. Thank you." Despite a report from WrestleVotes claiming the Smackdown and AEW Rampage viewership was a huge topic backstage, and WWE producer for the company Shane Helms would reply, "As someone who was there, I didn't hear one word spoken about it, not a single word." This would lead to Ringside News noting, asked about this report about Rampage and Smackdown viewership numbers being a hot topic backstage during Raw last night. It was indicated to us that this wasn't the case. Brock and Roman feud and Becky and Charlotte swap were the only considerable hot topics with staff. The late great Mr. Perfect has been known to be a prankster in wrestling. WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi recently recalled a story of one of Hennick's famed ribs, telling Briscoe and Bradshaw, "You don't even see that coming. Kurt is that smooth. It couldn't have been a better place for him to do it than in front of 70,000 people. I believe we were in Australia. We were in Brisbane or Sydney, and it was a big, huge coliseum we were at. I worked against Kurt, and Kurt comes with this towel. I'm thinking that he threw his freaking towel out of the ring, but by the time I come to give the stink face, he turns around and sticks that damn towel right up the crack of my butt." Rikishi would go on to say he was not bothered by this, knowing he could get him back. He would just sit there and just laugh and laugh about it and have a good time. That's how the old school cats were back in the day. Normally, somebody would get hot like, "Hey, you messed my stuff up in front of people. This ain't funny." For us, it was like, "Alright, you're one up. I'll catch you the next time." You know what they say, you give a rib, you better learn how to take a rib, because you don't know what type of rib you're going to get. On his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T touched on the war between WWE and AEW, taking shots at the AEW president Tony Khan. "I'm of the sentiment that Tony Khan is doing a lot of talking about nothing. Go out and produce a good show. At the end of the day, we'll know who won if that's what we're looking for, if that's your goalpost, if that's where you're trying to score in. But all of this talk about what you're doing, this and that, back and forth, I swear man, it sounds like a little schoolgirl saying how pretty she is over the other girls in the schoolyard." After having her doll destroyed by Charlotte at Extreme Rules, Alexa Bliss has been absent from TV. With her taking time off due to sinus surgery, many fans are now under the impression that she will be going through a character change, as she took to Twitter to post a gif of herself. It remains to be seen where Bliss goes from here, as she could go back to the way she was before she paired up with Bray Wyatt. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.